Welcome to the Fearful Fright series, where we will be reading with our favorite green ghoul, Grimmer. Now sit back and enjoy this twisted tale. Today our story is called Camp No Good. Hello reader, my name's Kenny Landers, but all my friends call me Ken. Well, they would if I had any left, that is. You see, I'm writing to you from a prison for juveniles. I'm stuck in here because nobody will believe my story. But I'm here to tell you in the hopes somebody will believe me and never set foot in those woods again. You see, it all started at the beginning of last summer. Well, let's face it, it started long before that. You see, I was a bad kid. And I mean a really bad kid. I would skip school, steal my stepfather's cigarettes. I would get into fights constantly at school all the time. I've even stole my mom's truck a time or two. But this summer I really did it. Me and my friends Andy Bakley and Tom Frizzle decided it would be fun to drag a log onto the freeway at night. We wanted to see someone total their car. But we had no idea what would actually happen. Being young dumb teens, we didn't understand the severity of what we were doing. We thought it would be just another funny joke to tell our other friends from school. Well, the man that hit the log going 60 miles per hour didn't think it was so funny. You see, the man that hit the log didn't die. But he was permanently paralyzed from the waist down due to our stupid little joke. The man even pleaded with the judge to have leniency on us, since we were just three dumb kids, not really knowing the consequences of our actions. All of our parents were all super disappointed and furious with us. I clearly remember my mom saying, "I don't know where I went wrong with you." For some reason, that got to me more than anything the judge could do to me. I think my behavior problem started when my jerk of a dad walked out on us. For some blonde bimbo 20 years younger than my mom. He wouldn't call me, or write, or even stop by to see how I was doing. It's like he didn't care. So I stopped caring too. About him and school, and all grown-ups' rules altogether. As far as I figured, I could do whatever I wanted. And nobody could stop me. Well, this judge was about to prove me wrong. Judge Davis was a tough judge, but also fair. My two friends were in the courtroom making faces at one another, trying to make the other one laugh. Well, Judge Davis didn't think either of my friends were funny, and gave both of my friends 4.5 years each. When I heard that, my heart sank into my stomach. What would my punishment be? I thought to myself. Just then the judge said, "Mr. Landers, would you please stand before the court?" I could feel a knot in my stomach as I stood up. "Yes, Your Honor," I said, shaking like a leaf. "You have been found guilty of all charges," Judge Davis said, "but I still have faith that you can be rehabilitated. So I'll give you an option, young man: 2 years in juvenile detention. Or you can spend 1 summer at Camp No Good. It's a boot camp for troubled teens like yourself. You'll be forced to exercise day in and day out. You will be forced to clean every inch of the facility until it is spotless. And only allowed contact with your family once a month through the mail." "So what will it be?" said Judge Davis. I thought to myself for a second. Camp No Good would be pretty tough. But at least I'll be back home before school starts. "I'll take the camp option, Your Honor." "All right, young man," Judge Davis said. "Camp it is. I hope you learned something from your experience at Camp No Good." And before I knew it, I was on my way to one of the worst places you could imagine. I mean, I thought I was a pretty bad kid. But the kids at Camp No Good made me seem like your average altar boy. They had kids in here that were never going home. And I just knew not to ask them about it. One kid was beaten so bad, they had to life flight him to the hospital to save the kid's life. Well, I managed to make 3 friends at Camp No Good: Franklin, Josh, and Richard. Well, 1 month into my summer at Camp No Good, a kid by the name Mark Stoneridge decided him and his friend were going to teach the new kids a thing or two about Camp No Good. So they beat me and my friends up. They did a pretty good job at it if I'm being completely honest. No guards were around to see it. But my friend Franklin decided he would inform the guards on what just occurred. Yeah, he snitched in a facility that doesn't take too kindly to that kind of behavior. And it just so happens that Mark Stoneridge was one of those kids that were never coming home. And he decided me or my friends wouldn't be making it home either. Mark swore that once he got out of the hole, him and his friends were going to kill us. And I believed him too. I've seen what kind of people this place is capable of creating. Kids who didn't care about life whatsoever. Kids that wouldn't think twice about stabbing you if they had the opportunity to. So me and my friends decided to escape. Yeah, I know. Dumb, right? Well, maybe it was pretty dumb. But me and my friends weren't ready to die yet. So we hatched a plan. One of my friends would steal our clothes we came with from the guards. Another would distract the guards as the rest of us snuck our sheets out of our cells to use as a rope, and climb over the barbed-wired fence. Everything went to plan, but soon we heard dogs barking in the distance. When we heard that, we all got scared. We knew dogs could track us down in no time. I know what we could do, Richard said. Let's get in that creek. We could walk down it for a while and then hop out somewhere else. The dogs will never know where we are then. I seen it in a movie. Yeah, well, this ain't no movie, said Josh, but we all decided it was our only chance. So we all hopped in the cold creek water and walked for a while. Soon we came across this abandoned campsite. We hopped out of the creek and quickly changed into our clothes we came to Camp No Good with. As we looked around the abandoned campsite, we noticed everything thrown about. I wonder what happened here, said Josh. Yeah, it looks like someone left in a hurry, Franklin said. Who cares, I told them. We have a perfectly good tent to sleep in tonight. And that's all that really matters. As it got dark, we decided to start telling each other scary stories. Richard told us one about a dream he had. Josh told us one about his grandfather's mole. But Franklin told us about the woods surrounding Camp No Good. He said he actually lived one town over from Camp No Good a few years back. He said 4 campers went missing under strange circumstances. He said it was like they just disappeared off the face of the earth without a trace. But the strangest part, he said, was when people went looking for the 4 missing campers. They found a tree that looked like it had faces on it. Faces that resembled the faces of the missing campers. That story scared us all. And we all decided that was enough scary stories for the night. And decided to head to sleep. In the middle of the night, we heard something scratching the side of the tent. We all woke up and looked at each other. Do you think the dogs found us? Said Franklin. I don't know, I said. So we played rock, paper, scissors to see who would go check. Josh lost and had to be the one to go look. He reluctantly poked his head out to look. I don't see anything, he said. Hold on, I think I see it. It's just a branch, he said, laughing. Look at you babies, afraid of a little branch. Don't worry, I'll break it so you chickens can go back to sleep. He left the tent laughing. Then we heard him say, Hey, wait a second, what the heck is that? Then it got silent. Bang! What was that? Franklin said. It sounded like a tree fell, said Richard. Are you all right? I asked Josh. No reply. Richard, go look, I said. He looked kind of nervous. But eventually he left the tent. Bang! We heard the noise again. Me and Franklin looked at each other. Are you guys all right? I asked. No reply. Franklin looked at me and said, forget this, man. I'm outta here. Just then he ran out of the tent. Bang! I felt my blood run cold. Hey, what's going on out there? I said. No answer. I was so terrified I didn't leave the tent. I stayed up all night afraid to close my eyes. In fear of whatever happened to them would happen to me next. Somehow I managed to fall asleep. When I woke up, I was surrounded by park rangers and guards from Camp No Good. "Come out of the tent with your hands up," they yelled. As I left the tent, I noticed something. There was blood and torn clothes surrounding the tent. And there was a strange-looking tree just outside of the tent. That wasn't there when we got to the abandoned campsite. The tree had these peculiar-looking features on it. Features that resembled that of human faces. 3 of the faces resembled my friends. Franklin, Josh, and Richard. What happened here? And where are the other 3 boys? I tried to tell them my story. And no one believed me. Since they found the other 3 boys' clothes torn with blood on them, they thought the worst. They thought I killed my 3 friends and hid their bodies in the woods somewhere. To this day I can't explain what happened in those woods. But I was charged for the escape. They also charged me for my 3 friends' disappearances. And now I'm facing life without the possibility of parole for it. My hope in writing this letter is to tell the world I'm innocent. And to warn people never to go back in the woods surrounding Camp No Good ever again.